Yae Miko is a character I tried desperately to like, but in the end, I just don't like. So the thing with Yae Miko is, as you can tell, her gameplay in general. Now, it's gonna be E. She presses E 3 times, and then that's it. You just get her totems to start dealing electro damage, and then that's it. You swap out. Now, the thing with it is that it's way too slow because you're you're doing this like very often. Now, yes, it does have a duration of 14 seconds, which is relatively long, but it's just way too short. Sometimes I find myself with my rotations that I have to keep setting it up because I let the duration run for way too long, or I'm I go I reset the totems a little too early, and so I'm essentially wasting the duration that they had left over, and it just feels awful to play. Not to mention, I kind of see no benefit from even having the totems up in the first place. Do they do damage? Not really. Do they apply a lot of electro? Not really. Do they generate a lot of energy? Not really. So it's like, why are you spending this much field time just to set them up in order for you to have little benefit to it? So, okay, potentially, what about her elemental burst? Her elemental burst has a lot of motion value. It has a big ratio at level 7 for me. It could have like 1800%. Yes, it does have a lot of percent. It does have a lot of motion value, but that's it. That's all the motion value you're gonna get. That's all the damage you're gonna get. You cannot amplify the damage through energy recharge whatsoever. You can only increase its damage through electro damage bonus, crit damage, crit rate, and attack percent. And yeah, that's all the damage you're gonna get. Not to mention, when you use your elemental burst, it consumes your totems. So when your totems fizzle out, you gotta set it up again. Her elemental burst is a massive 90 cost burst. Now, Raiden also has a 90 cost burst, but Raiden has a lot of energy recharge you build on her because that's the way she deals damage, and she generates flat energy when she normal attacks during Muso Ishin. What about Aggravate? You pack Elemental Master with the Yae Miko, you can boost Aggravate damage, you can boost her Elemental skill damage with her totems because they scale off like her Elemental Mastery. Yes, but with Aggravate, I find that you only aggravate like one hit out of like every volley or whatever. So like every 3 hits, you only like aggravate like one hit because of ICD, and because of you have to go into quicken, and yeah, it was quicken and then aggravate, which is again, she doesn't apply enough electro. So what about her competition? Her closest competition is Fischl. Now with Fischl, unlike Yae Miko, who has to set up her totems and take a lot of field time, Fischl, all she does is this. That's it. And you get all of your damage from Oz. Not to mention, you can move Oz around. If you want to move Oz, you just press E again. Now, you think you get locked into it? Not really. You can dash cancel out of it. Now, I'll show it, but I'll show it when it comes back on. But you can dash cancel out of for Fischl in order to, like, if you want to move Oz again, for example. Okay, I want to move Oz. Wait, I want to move Oz. Let's move him again. Yeah. And because of such low field time that Fischl takes, Fischl's almost always a full HP whenever I play her in a team, because she takes so little field time that she's almost protected by literally being off field. Yeah, Miko, well, you're gonna get hit during during setting up the totems, and if it's a big hit you take from Kairagi, well, you're dead. your Catalyst, and you're extremely squishy. Now, with Fischl, you can have Oz almost all the time. At C5 to C0 or C0 to C5, Oz lasts for 10 seconds. With her Elemental Burst, you can refresh Oz for another 10 seconds. So with her Elemental skill lasting with a cooldown of 25 seconds, you can have up to 5 seconds of downtime with Fischl, and that's pretty good since you're getting 20 seconds of uptime with Oz. So you're gonna have an uptime of like I don't know, like at worst 80%. If you have C6, you get an additional 2 seconds. So it becomes from 20 seconds of total duration to 24 seconds of total duration. So you only have 1 second of downtime with Fischl. So if you play your rotations right, you can have Oz up almost all the time. And you can use your elemental skill and then like use your elemental burst to refresh Oz faster than Yae Miko can set up her three totems. Not to mention, Oz and Fischl have a lot of electro application, and damage along with it too, and energy recharge. Oz generates a lot of particles. With Oz, you have 3 additional attacks or electro hits that come from Oz. So of course, his initial hit, or his standard hit, you get at like, you know, his just standard hit, and then you get the attack. You get another attack whenever you make an electro reaction from Ascension 4, and the C6 coordinated attack. Well, it's not a coordinated attack, but like Oz will attack when you attack with a smaller attack. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, but those secondary attacks have very, very low ratios, so they're not really doing that much. Well, let's look at my damage. Let's look at my damage calculator. Because Oz applies so much electro, we can just say to aggravate each and every, we can just, there's a chance that one of the 3 hits are gonna aggravate because you're just doing so many hits. Oz, I assume no team buffs. Yes, there is no team buffs. Let me see. No. So Oz will do 9,000 damage, which is not really that much, but the active character damage 5,000. This is C6, by the way. This is their C6 ascension for like second ascension skill. 6,000. That's pretty good. You've essentially doubled your Oz's damage. But and yeah, that's so much more than Yae Miko, because let's look at my Yae Miko. Yeah, these are my official stats. So let's look at my Yae Miko. Do I have any team buffs on? Okay. So with Yae Miko, at level 3, I'm only doing 5,000 per hit, so that's like 15,000. Like 15,000. What is this? 9,000, 15,000, 20,000. Wow. So at this point, you're dealing like 20% more damage than Yae Miko, and that's so much better. And because Yae Miko is very slow with her attack speed, it's like Oz also attacks much faster, so you have a lot more damage in general, a lot less field time too. But Fischl also has additional ways of increasing her damage with her elemental burst. So of course you're gonna reset Oz with your elemental burst. What does her elemental burst give you? It gives you the falling thunder, the initial hit, and the additional AoE damage from her C4. Now I know you're not gonna aggravate all the attacks, but you're doing so many attacks that you're bound to aggravate at least a multiple enemies, and the more enemies you have, the more damage this deals, because it'll hit like every like one enemy at a time. Like, sorry, not at a time, but it'll hit one enemy. It'll hit each enemy if you when they come in range. So yeah, and because you're hitting a lot of enemies, of course, aggravate, more aggravate. And yeah, I feel like Fischl is just so much better than Yae Miko, because Fischl's always doing something whenever you're using her skills. She's setting up Oz very fast and building up energy. With her elemental burst, she's doing more damage and refreshing Oz. Right? And potentially generating particles too. But whatever. Yae Miko, on the other hand, with her burst, you're only doing damage and nothing else. You consume your totems, so you gotta set your totems back up again. It's like she doesn't really generate that much energy. She doesn't really do that much damage. She doesn't really have that much energy, as I mentioned, like literally before, with a bunch of her flaws from her totems. She's also vulnerable because she's Catalyst. How much defense does she have? 629. Well, whatever, but still, she's very easy to interrupt and very vulnerable. Fischl may be more vulnerable, but doesn't matter. Or just Fischl might just be as vulnerable as Yae Miko, but no, Fischl has the protection of being off field most of the time, and that is a protection that a lot of people miss out on. And yeah, the only reason you would use Yae Miko is a Beidou alternative where you're going for pure single target damage. And yeah, that's the only reason I can see her used in as an alternative for Beidou, because Beidou is infinitely better than Yae Miko in AoE, but Yae Miko is very good in single target because of the amount of time she can constantly keep her totems up, while Beidou has to charge her energy with her elemental burst being an 80 cost, which is it's very expensive. And yeah, I know. I know I always say, oh, but Fischl, but C6 4-star is the price of 2 5-stars, or 3 5-stars. And yes, while that's true, the thing is, Fischl is a staple character, and staple characters can be used in a variety of teams. Fischl can be used in Taser, in Aggravate. Hell, Fischl can even be used with Fischl Raiden to batter Eula. And I know Eula's not exactly like the best character in the game, but Fischl can still be used in so many other teams. Yae Miko, well, Yae Miko's really niche character where you gotta build a team for her, and even then I don't think it's worth it. Just because she's way too slow and stuff like that. Fischl's just way more comfy, and yeah. Fischl's like so much more of a team player that I don't like Yae Miko when she just fails to really do anything compared to Fischl. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I feel like Yae Miko's disappointment, even though I have Nahida C2 to try to boost her damage, but even then she still feels so underwhelming. And yeah, that's gonna be it. See ya.